Okay, Corey, this is so shocking.
Oh, no.
You know, I mean, you're one of the most famous kids in the world, and you don't have a personal photo of yourself. How did that happen?
I mean, there's lots of photos out there, but
Yeah.
it's more of a question of, do I have those family memories that everybody goes to their uncles or their aunts or their grandparents, and they have that family yearbook or whatever, or like the wedding book or all that stuff. We just don't have it. We never had it. My mom didn't collect those things. But a lot of that goes along with the systemic abuse that I went through as a kid, because I was very abused, but also I went through sexual abuse, all these different things in the industry, which is why I ended up really doing the show in the first place, not just to deal with those issues with my brother, but also because I needed funding to finish my documentary to help expose the truth, which is all the bigger mission that I've been working on for the last few years.
Yeah, well, let's go back a little bit. You said you started working when you were 3.
Yep.
What was life like for you as a kid? You mentioned abuse. What was the abuse
I
about?
was like a slave child, to be honest.
Really?
So I never had freedom as a kid. A lot of times I was locked in a room with a record player, and they would say, don't come out. A lot of people don't know this, but I started singing before I started acting.
Oh.
Because that was how I could get auditions, because as a 3-year-old, you can't like read a script, you can't memorize lines, right? So how do you prove that you're worthy to be cast, or that you could be professional and you could have memorization skills and all that kind of stuff? So what they do is, you know, they need to see you perform in some way. So my parents would lock me in a room, they'd give me a record, they'd give me a record player, and they say, don't come out until you know the song backwards and forwards. And then if they thought I was eating too much, I wouldn't be allowed to eat. If I hurt myself or I scraped myself up, I would get beaten for scraping myself up or injuring myself. So, I mean, it was literally like a slave child.
And you were doing all this while you were working. You were a working kid,
And
breadwinner in the house.
And going to school.
And going in that.
Well, my sister started working before I did, so it went down the chain, which is why it's so important for my brother, Eden, to get some healthy nourishment out of all of this, too. Because unfortunately, he was also abused, but a lot of people don't realize his story. They don't know his story. They don't know that he also went through all of this pain and tumultuous life as a child. And so did each of our family members. But my sister, you know, who was in the Mickey Mouse Club, she went on and kind of was able to lead a normal life after this. I wasn't, because I was too famous at that point to go backwards. My brother never got that famous, but then he was living also in the shadow of having a famous brother and a famous sister, and now he's the third in line, and all this pressure of like, how come you're not making as much as they did?
Yeah.
You know, it's just, it's sick and it's wrong and it shouldn't be that way.
Yep. Where are your parents now?
They're around. They're around. But I also have to say that they're not responsible. Well, I mean, I guess they are partially responsible because they didn't protect me better, but they weren't the ones who abused me sexually. I wasn't abused at their hands. I was abused at the hands of people that they brought into my life. So again, not just not being good parents, but not paying attention to who's around. That's a big thing, is kids go on these sets, and if they don't have, you know, their parent with them or their guardian with them at all times, they go off with some assistant or some makeup guy or some manager, publicist, photographer, who knows? You know, the point is that you should be with your kids all the time. But we are working on laws to change this. So 2 things I really want to make sure come off, which is number 1, that the reason why we did the show in the first place was to make enough, you know, capital so that I could put it right back into my documentary, which is almost finished, and we're looking for distribution. And that's very important because it's going to expose a lot of what happened and the systemic abuse as it happens throughout the process in Hollywood. But then also, the most important part of all this is changing the laws so that we can reverse the statute of limitations. Right now, the good news is there is a law that has been passed in the House and in the Senate, and it's sitting right now on Governor Newsom's desk, and we've got 3 days left, Governor Newsom, for you to sign that law into action. So please sign the bill. Get it done. We got 3 days left. It's got to be signed by October 13th. And what this will do is create a 3-year look-back window. It's called California AB 218, and it will create a 3-year look-back window so that all cases prior to 2017 will have a chance at being heard in civil court. So at least to give victims a chance at justice that they've never had. I never had that chance.
Yeah, and you talked about being on the show partly to make the money, to have some publicity, to get your message out. Well, let's talk about what happens on the show.
Well, the documentary.
The documentary.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what happens on the show. Are you on the show to kind of work out these demons in your life and with your brother?
Not my demons, but for my brother. You know, again, because he has never had the opportunity to do anything like this.
Yeah.
You know, he never really went through therapy. He's never been under a public microscope. He's never really been on television much since he was an adult. So this was an opportunity for the two of us to have some time together with, you know, licensed therapists, which we're told we're going to handle it very respectfully, and they were going to do things the right way. So we're putting a lot of faith in WeTV that they do this the right way, and they do this in a classy way, so it doesn't cause further disruption or further drama in the lives of the people that are going there for therapy.
And what kind of stuff will we see on the show, like with the drama? We know Aaron Carter's on there. Are you going to delve into Michael Jackson, you know, the Leaving, his documentary?
No, because there was no drama with me and Michael.
Yeah.
Like, me and Michael were cool. You know, our relationship was good. We had a good relationship. I can't speak for Michael's relationship with other people.
Right.
I know Aaron himself has said that he also had a good relationship with Michael.
Yeah.
But Aaron and I got along very well on the show. In fact, we were very close. We were like brothers. And then recently, I've seen all this stuff that he's been kind of spouting out and talking all this crazy stuff or whatever. So I don't know what's going on with him right now, but I wish him the best. I feel really bad for what he's going through right now. I don't know exactly what sparked all of this or why he's doing it, but I feel like it's a cry for help. So I just want him to know that I'm here for him. I love him like a brother, and I just want him to get a peaceful resolution to all of his problems.
Yeah, well, Corey, thank you so much, and we know there's a lot coming up on the show.
A lot coming up.
A lot that you're going to have to unpack, so you're going to have to tune
Tomorrow
in.
night, WeTV. It's on at like 10 o'clock at night, I'm pretty sure, here in Los Angeles. So everybody tune in for the first episode. We'll see what happens.
Okay, everyone, just like Corey said, again, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
You've got to watch his show, Marriage Boot Camp, Family Edition. It premieres tomorrow on WeTV.
God bless, peace and love. Kids too.
Yeah, and
Kids too.
And we'll be back.